y'all, let's make this personalized wine glass for my mother-in-law using some vinyl and a Cricut machine. I have a Cricut Maker 3, so let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the height and the width of the wine glass. And honestly, I don't show getting the width, but because I kind of already knew what I wanted it to be, but I did measure the height and it is about 4 inches, at least until that curve. Then I took my Canva design and I put it into Cricut's Design Studio, and I took both of the images and I'm going to combine them using the weld feature. And this is so that I can print them out at the same time and I don't have to get two different mats when I'm doing it. And then once you press make and you go to the next screen, you're going to have to move it to where you want it to be on the mat. So I wanted it between 1 and 4. And then after that, I am just cutting my rose gold vinyl. And again, I am cutting it to the height. So we know that the height of the glass is around 4 inches. So I'm going to cut this to 3.5. And then for my width, I'm only going to do about 3 inches overall. So that'll give me my enough space to create the P. And then for the black, I'm going to do 2 inches or like 2.5 inches for the height. And then for the width as well, I decided to do the 3 inches wide. And obviously, this is a preference on how wide you want it to spread across the glass. I kind of just want it to be like on the front facing of the glass. So that is the reason why I chose these dimensions. Then once I was done cutting, I needed to take this plastic off of the rose gold vinyl. And I used my weeding tool to do this because it was really hard to do with just my fingers and that just wasn't working. So definitely recommend using the weeding tool to get that plastic off. Then I'm just pressing the vinyl onto my mat and I am placing it exactly where I know each letter and the name is going, well, the letter P and the name is going to fall. So I'm placing these in between from the top 1 and 4 and then all the way to the bottom right above the 7. Then before or while everything is getting cut in the Cricut, I like to clean my glass during this time with alcohol. So that is what I am doing here. And then once everything is done in the Cricut, I'm going to take off the extra or the outside layer. And I did learn very quickly that you don't want to move too fast when you're doing this. Definitely take your time. I actually ripped the P, so I did print these out again because I ripped the P and I forgot to take or at least keep the dots for the eyes. But I still wanted to show you like how easy and great these came out with my Cricut cutter. So these are the final ones. And now I'm just taking my transfer paper and I am placing it on top of my vinyl so I can transfer it to the glass, obviously. And in this part or step, you want to make sure that you are pressing as hard as possible, especially for the name if they have extra letters like an I or a B that need to make sure that the pieces in the middle of them are sticking to the transfer paper. So press as hard as you can, apply that pressure, baby. Okay. And then after that, I am going to use my cup holder to kind of get a visual of where I want to place this P. I'm going to remove it from the backing paper with the transfer paper and I'm going to place it on the glass. And honestly, I was just eyeballing it. I'm more of an eyeball person, anyways. I don't even know. I've got to figure out some cool ways to figure out how to make it straight going across. But for now, we're eyeballing it. And I will say it came out pretty decent. Make sure you press, 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 press when you're using your scraper. And you want to peel slowly and from a corner when you are taking off the transfer paper. And this is also going to allow you to see like if you pressed it all down, if it's lifting or not. and I did a pretty good job, so I wasn't, too upset. Then I'm gonna press and make sure that I got any bubbles out. There's still little bubbles, but first time. And then for her name, I actually just decided to cut a little bit more off that I didn't need because all the excess was just unnecessary. Um, Definitely could have just cut this or printed it a little smaller, but it is what it is. So I'm going to take this off the backing and then place it onto the glass. And I knew exactly where I wanted to place this because I kept looking at the design that I had created in Canva with both the letter and her name on top of each other. So it was easy to visualize and see where I needed to place going off of the T. And then after that, I just made sure I press really, really hard, especially because I had those dots and I want to make sure that they are on there for the eyes. And after this was the final project or product, I hope you all enjoyed. If you like these videos, let me know. And don't forget to like it if you guys like it. Don't forget to comment if you guys want to comment. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I'll see y'all soon.